First take, VCU edition. Question 4.
Well, I would like to welcome to the set 3-time Pro Bowler, and what I think is probably going to be the defensive player of the year this year. Very celebrated safety in his very rare time in the NFL. Safety for what I think the best defense in the league is today. The Seattle Seahawks. I'd like to welcome to the set University of Texas alumni, Earl Thomas. Welcome, brother.
How you doing, sir? How you doing? All right, man. Well, we got a lot of questions, but one question that I feel like is going to be the best question of this TV show that anybody's ever seen.
This is the debate right here.
Right here. How has the NFL rules affected NFL gameplay? Woo! Boy. This question I've been waiting for, man.
I'm taking my mask because I got the best shot.
Oh, whatever. I'm going to go ahead and answer this question. New NFL rules affecting NFL gameplay. I think we all can agree NFL is not what it used to be. I think we can all agree. But my standpoint on it is I'd rather have a new football than a no football at all, people. I know we used to the aggressiveness. I know we used to the big hits. I know my man want to knock some teeth out and get all the money he can, but we have to realize at the cost of people losing their lives 10, 20 years after retirement because of helmet hits and head trauma, I think a change is very much needed. So, although I'm not a big fan of the changes throughout the NFL, I do support it because I love the game of football.
Skip, don't be ridiculous.
I'm just being honest, man. I love football, man. Go ahead. Yes.
Well, the way the rules are set up now, it looks like in a few years, we're not even going to need helmets and shoulder pads. We might just need flags because even if a defender just taps the shoulder pads of a wide receiver, there's a flag.
That is not.
We were taught as children to go shoulders, chest, aim for the chest. The helmet might sneak up and hit the chin. Oh, a flag. We can't help that. So are we supposed to just let a receiver go in the air and then land, then catch it? No, that doesn't make any sense. How do you feel about that, Stephen A?
Well, Earl, I agree with you.
Thank you.
Unlike my brother from another mother, Skip, over here, I agree with you. As I reiterated before earlier in the show, I do feel as though this is becoming a flag football league.
It is.
And I think it's quite despicable. Very, 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 very despicable. And quite disrespectful, for one, for the people that have to pay to see this. I mean, if we have to sit there and watch a Jacksonville Jaguars game, at least let us see some big hits.
Right. Right.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
Oh, and for the people in Jacksonville, I feel sorry for you, man. I really do. We could change that, but I really feel sorry for you.
You're not that bad of a team, sir. Not that bad of a team.
What? Not that bad of a team. Not that bad of a team. Yeah, please, don't give me a heart attack. Please, don't give me a heart attack. Please, don't. Don't be
I was praying I wasn't going to get drafted that team.
However, as to what I was saying earlier, as far as the NFL rules affecting the gameplay, we know how it's affecting the gameplay. It's making it softer. Well, I agree. It's good to have a safe environment, but at the same time, people know what this sport is about when they get into it. They know there's going to be a lot of violence to it.
It's just
that's the nature of the sport.
It's taking the fun out of the defense.
Exactly.
It's just taking the fun out.
I feel like they're handcuffing defensive players from doing what their primary job is to do.
What they get paid to do.
And that's what brings home the bacon.
I disagree, though. I feel like defensive players can do better jobs of defending. You don't always have to aim for the helmet of a player. You can go right across his chest, big fella.
We don't aim. We go for the chest and call the flag.
Either way, the NFL is now holding all defensive players accountable for their plays, no matter where. Unfortunately, you're going to have to start going lower. Now, I realize as an alternate, a lot of people are starting to go low, and unfortunately, they're tearing people's ACLs.
Well,
like you just see,
Roger Goodell leaves us no choice.
Okay, you know what? Here's the deal. Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Would you rather, if you had to choose, if you had a split-second decision, team's coming down with the ball, you have to dislodge that ball. One of two things you're gonna do. Are you gonna go high to try to dislodge that ball from the upper body, or are you gonna go low and try to take that man's knees out, possibly break a leg or tear ACL and end his career?
I'm definitely gonna go high. There's a greater chance of him
Just ask me a question.
dislodging the
Now,
ball.
what is the problem with going for the waistline, sir?
Because there's a greater chance of me dislodging the ball if I go high.
Okay, and there's a greater chance of you receiving one of Roger Goodell's drastic fines of $100,000 per hit.
I get paid millions. I'll take it.
And with that being the case, in my opinion, every personal foul, every unnecessary hit does not need to be fined. Because if you see it in a replay, they review these hits, and even after reviewing some of these hits, and they still find players. I don't understand that. I really don't.
Yeah,
I don't understand this.
I can agree with you. I do feel that every penalized hit should not be fined. I feel like the NFL should do better jobs of reviewing plays during penalties. Especially, actually, I agree with what Ray Lewis said in one of his press conferences after what we all seen Brooks on that hit that he made on Drew Brees. Yeah. Unfortunately, it didn't lead him to the win. It was very controversial, I agree. But I feel like the referee should have stopped the game, or the referee should now stop the game for a possible penalized hits. Like, there's nothing wrong. Of course, some people want fast gameplay. They don't want to stop the game. They want the game to be live, like you said, energetic, hard and aggressive. But I feel like we have to recognize now, like, the game is not what it used to be anymore. It doesn't need to be.
That's what I've been saying all show.
Hello,
people. That's what I've been saying all show.
It doesn't need to be like that anymore, man. Like, there's safer ways to make a tackle. There's better ways to make a play. There's nothing wrong.
People gonna spend their money to go watch soccer games too.
Well,
the league's getting soft.
So nobody can agree that this is a change that needs to be made right now.
My thing
besides
is, there's nothing wrong with
spending the fines. Like, throwing out these fines for these hits just unnecessary.
Well,
in the words of Stephen A. Smith, despicable. Just despicable.
Use your own words against you, Stephen.
Oh no, Skip, he's not using words against me.
Yeah, we're on
he's
the
only
same
making me up,
terms
man. Something you wouldn't understand, Skip. Something you just wouldn't understand. But still in all, I don't see it being a problem as far as changing. Little changing kinks here and there. I just don't see a need for a drastic change, Skip. There's no need for a drastic change.
Change.
This is one thing. It's one thing to improve a helmet. It's one thing to check for concussions. There's another thing to start taking people's food out of their mouths just because of a mistake here.
All players must be held accountable.
And I understand that, Skip. I understand that, but still in all, you see the replays, you review it for the following week, and there's no in some of these hits that I see. I mean, there's no reason.
And the flag that kills me is the hit on a defenseless receiver. Like, what does that mean? Are we supposed to let them catch the ball?
That is a very controversial, but at the same time, there are some plays that there are defensive receivers, and those hits are not needed. There's no reason for you to hit a player that jumps for a ball and the ball is 20 yards over his head. There's no need for that. There's no need for that.
That's different, but the plays I've seen lately, the receiver actually has the ball.
Now, I can't agree with y'all. There's some, as far as how the penalties are called, I feel is the main issue that's at hand. I don't disagree with the penalties nowadays. I don't disagree with them because there are a lot of negligent players that just make regular plays that should not be made. I feel like players, need to do a better job of their tackling and defensive techniques as well as offensive players. I'm not going to just target defense, big fella. I'm not going to only call y'all out. Offensive players need to change their technique as well. But I feel like more responsibility should be held on the officials' shoulders. I feel like they should do their best to call the most accurate call they can. If not during the game, but go ahead and take a minute to review it. Go ahead and take a couple seconds to review a possible helmet-to-helmet hit or a possible late hit one step out of bounds. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, Skip. Well, let me ask you this question. Thanksgiving game. Steelers versus Ravens. Everybody was sitting down eating a turkey. Some probably had the itis.
I was at the game.
I hope everyone had a very happy Thanksgiving.
I was at the game.
Let me ask you a question. On the play where Le'Veon Bell
that should have been a flag.
Knocked out.
I feel that should have been a flag.
Now, hold on. Now, what we see should have been a flag. Who should the flag have been on?
Not on Le'Veon. Not on Le'Veon.
Le'Veon for the crowning of the helmet?
No.
Or should it have been on the safety who...
It should have been on the safety. Le'Veon was making a diving attempt towards the goal line. He did not tuck his head to run through anybody. He seen a gap. He shot through the gap. He dove for the end zone.
Well, from my vantage point, he
and
definitely did duck his head to try to get to that.
if
he
you
ducks
can't,
his head,
dive without ducking your head.
How else are you supposed to tackle him?
Exactly, that's all I'm asking.
You don't throw your head down.
Yeah, on the set, telling you how exactly.
A guy's coming at me with his head now,
and you gonna lower your head down too.
I don't know what else I'm supposed to do. I'm not.
So you will lower your head down too.
I'm not supposed to just let him go by. So I don't know.
But you will lower your head down too.
I will have to do what I got to do to stop the defender.
That's what I'm saying. You don't have to find every single player for doing what they have to do to try to help their team win. I think personally, I think they should go to the college rules of the targeting. I think if you're going to do the 15-yard and get a penalty, they should review the hit right then and there to see if they do get a penalty. On top of that, I do think that the college rules do need to change as far as the targeting. If you're going to flag somebody for it and then it's not targeting, you might as well pick up the flag. Right. But that's another situation here nor there. As far as for the NFL, the targeting rule needs to be implemented into the NFL. The reason why I say this is because of this. When you throw a flag for unnecessary hit, in game time, majority of those hits are going to look worse than what they really are. So when you see the replay, things happen to where, okay, maybe it wasn't a hit. Or, okay, maybe I missed that one. So you should have an opportunity to pick that flag up.
So we can agree. The referees do need to do a slightly better job as far as calling these penalties. Although we may not agree that NFL...
So now you agree.
I agree with you as far as the officiating.
First it was just me and Earl.
No, I agree with the officiating, but I do not disagree with the rules. I do not disagree with the rules.
You come to the winning side.
Gotta get out here and get the practice, all right? Nice
seeing you. Nice seeing you.
I'll be watching your game on Saturday. Yeah, you do a great job.
Who I see going to see.
We thank Earl Smith for visiting us today. First say thank you.